Druid is our first hybrid.
Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Path of Exile 2 video here. Today we're going to be looking at some of the new information that we got on patch 0.4. We've got the Druid coming out, we've got some new in-game content, as well as just, the typical balance changes and, support additions, passive tree adjustments, etc. that you can kind of expect from a typical major PoE patch. Here we've got a look at the bear form. We've got the weapon type here that allows you to transform or shapeshift. So you can see here it's got a bear form to choose from and a wolf form. There's also a wyvern form, so that's very interesting and unique. Not seen that really, like bear and wolf, or werebear, werewolf, pretty typical in your ARPG.
Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack. If you want to change back to a human,
I have to say I'm mildly disappointed in what we are getting in this patch, just on the grounds that it's really everything we already knew we were going to be getting. Nothing to surprise us, or just that little early Christmas present coming out in the patch, like an extra class, an extra act, an extra new weapon type. We're basically just getting the Druid and the Druid weapon, as well as like a new end game that I don't think anybody. I mean, a new pinnacle boss, I guess, like that's kind of nice, but I would much rather have. To me, the replayability comes from trying different characters, trying different builds. I don't really care, so much about like playing the same character in different in-game content. I want to try new builds and then do the content like with the different builds. Like if I've played the same character 5 times and you add a new boss and then I beat that boss with the same character, it's just not really quite as exciting. So, a little disappointed there, like I said, mildly disappointed. A couple other things that I'm mildly disappointed about is just, it seems kind of like the way that they're designing the classes. They, in PoE 1, you kind of decided how you wanted to create your build and then play your build. It was just everything was out there for you, like the tools were there and it was up to you to kind of unlock the puzzle. I feel like in PoE 2 the devs are just taking more of an approach of like, hey, this is how you play the class, and there's not really the tools there to create other builds. Like maybe there's a unique unintended interaction or setup that people are able to discover, but it's just I mean, that happens in basically any game. It's not that it's designed so that you can create really cool, interesting builds. It's just kind of like, well, here's your setup, here's how it's intended to be played, go play the game, essentially. So, still excited though. I mean, I'm still really looking forward to playing it. Still gonna be trying out the Druid. I'm a little disappointed that it kind of sounds like, just based off what they've said, that the elemental aspect of the Druid is almost like an afterthought, or basically the intended way to play the Druid is, they even say it here, like, yeah, we made all the elemental spells last a really long time so that you can just basically cast it and then go back into your shapeshifted form. And then your shapeshifted form will like have some benefits from those like long-lasting spells. Like the spell doesn't really do much damage itself. It's almost more of just sort of like a combo slash debuff slash buff that you just cast, and you can even like kind of automate the casting of it. So, I guess hopefully you're a fan of shapeshifting. you know, I think it's kind of cool, but at the same time it kind of takes away some of the like power like aspect of, you know, the fantasy games like ARPG genre of gearing up your character and watching him get, you know, better gear, look cooler, look more, you know, dangerous. And that sort of visual aspect is kind of taken away by the shapeshifting, because you basically always look the same as a shapeshifted character, and you know, you're basically like a furry. So like, I guess if you like furries, then you know, the Druid may be for you. My favorite Druid is definitely Diablo 2, like the windy Druid build. I mean, you had like the summons, and you had the cool elemental magic, you know, with tornado, hurricane, twister. You could do like the fire build, but it just wasn't really quite as prevalent or as strong in Diablo 2. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't think it's that bad, but I also kind of prefer more of the elemental like Druid playstyle, and it kind of seems like that may not even really be a possibility in this rendition of the Druid or of a Druid archetype. So I mean, I think that's pretty cool, like going into the White Wolf form. I think that's pretty cool. So I kind of wish the shapeshifting was more like you know, 25% of the time, like maybe 75% you're like in human form, and then 25% you shapeshift into you know, a different form, an animal form. So this one I think is kind of interesting, but it's also just very different. Like, you don't typically like you don't. I can't think of any other game where you can shapeshift into a wyvern. So we'll have to see like how that like plays out, how the reception of it is. It, you know, it kind of makes sense. Like, I mean, we're familiar with like werebears and werewolves, but wyverns, kind of not really a thing, you know, because like this just looks like a straight up wyvern. The wolf and the bear form, like, they're more of like a humanoid, like, you know, what you would assume those creatures would look like if it shapeshifted from a human. This just looks like a straight up like wyvern. So like, it's very different, you know. The werewolf and the werebear kind of makes sense because it's like you're going from a mammal to a mammal creature. This is like mammal to, you know, lizard / reptile. So just very different. Not necessarily that it's like not kind of cool, but it's also just not a concept that we're really familiar with. So all in all, I'm really looking forward to playing the patch and checking out the Druid, just because it's new, it's fresh, it's the first like strength and class we have in the game. Really hoping we get like some of the original classes coming up. Like, I just can't imagine that they don't have something like geared up, ready to go. I mean, they've showcased them in previous builds like a long time ago, so it's, to me, I just don't understand. Like, if you play this out every 4 months we get a new class, we're not going to have all the classes for like another couple years, so little concerning to me, unless they just do like a major update down the road. But just, we're really not seeing a lot of progress here. I thought originally their plan was early access would be more like a year, and we are at the 1 year mark now with like no clear end in sight. It's, you know, to me it's interesting that they're spending development time on creating leagues for the game when we're in early access and we don't have the entire campaign. We don't even have, like, I mean, I would say we're around like half the classes. Like, we're missing like half the classes, half the weapons, half the campaign. and we're spending development time on creating leagues. I remember in the early access for PoE 1, like, they would do resets, but they weren't creating specific content for the leagues. Like, their development time was spent. Here is the next major update, like new act. The classes were all out. Like, here's the new act, a lot of new content, new maps. Like, the leagues were very basic. It was like, oh, hey, the monsters like are faster now and do more damage, and that was, like, quite a ways into the life cycle of the game. So those are kind of my thoughts, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, really appreciate it. It helps me out. We hit 1,400 subs recently. Now we're going to go for 1,500, so let me know what you're looking forward to, kind of what you're going to be playing, and whether or not you're happy with how, like, the development cycle is going right now at its current pace. So thanks again, guys, for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And remember to give them the D.